Hi guys, welcome back to this new YouTube video. Today we're talking about something really common that I see all the time. Pain right below your kneecap. It could show up when you squat, when you walk down the stairs, when you jump, or sometimes it just shows up randomly after a long walk. Most people assume it's tendonitis, like the patella tendon is inflamed and that's the whole story. But in many cases, that pain is a signal, and the real cause is a little deeper than just labeling it tendonitis. So in this video, we're going to break down where this pain actually comes from, how to tell what kind of pain it is, and most importantly, what to do about it so it actually gets better. First, let's be clear about the exact location we're talking about. This is pain that feels like it's right below the kneecap, often a bit centered or just slightly to one side, like right where the patella tendon attaches to the shin bone. It's not pain above the kneecap, that's more quad or quad tendon, and it's not deep inside the joint line like meniscus stuff. It's that distinct area just below the kneecap. People usually feel it when they squat or lunge, go up and down the stairs, do jump training, sit for long periods, and then stand or run downhill. And because it's right below the patella, most people just call it patella tendon pain, but like I said, it's often more than that. Here's the thing. We've all heard terms like jumper's knee or tendonitis. It sounds specific, but when people walk in this pain, the story they tell is often way more complicated than a textbook tendonitis case. People have pain after activity, but only with certain activities. They have pain that gets worse later in the day. Some have pain just at the start of movement and then it eases up. Some have pain that gets worse over weeks, and some that randomly spikes. That variability tells me something important. Tendon pain can be part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's usually connected to load mechanics, movement patterns, strength balance, and knee tracking issues, not just your tendon got mad. Let's talk anatomy because it matters here. First, we have the patella tendon. That's the obvious one. This is the tendon that connects your kneecap, so your patella, to your shin bone, your tibia. It takes a lot of load when you bend and straighten, especially under load like squatting or jumping. Right under the tendon and behind it is a fat pad, kind of like a little cushion. That fat pad can get pinched when the knee compresses a lot or moves in a faulty pattern. Then you have to know that your kneecap doesn't just go straight and down. It tracks in a groove as the knee bends. If that tracking is off due to hip weakness, ankle restrictions, or quad dominance, it can put weird pressure on the structures underneath. And lastly, we often focus on the tendon, but if your quadriceps fire too hard and your posterior chain, which is your hamstrings, your glutes, doesn't share the load, the front structures get overloaded. All of these can contribute to pain in that specific area, and it's not always just inflammation, it's how the system is moving and absorbing load. Now here's where it gets practical. The way the pain shows up can tell us a lot. If it's most painful at the bottom of a squat or a lunge, it often points to compressive loading, where the knee's bending and the structures underneath are getting pinched or overloaded. When it hurts going downstairs more than upstairs, that's a classic sign of low timing or tracking issue. Downstairs requires eccentric control. Your quads are trying to slow you down, and if everything isn't sharing load properly, the front of the knee gets overloaded. Then we have pain with jumping and landing. High impact and quick deceleration emphasize the tendon loading, but pain only on jump landing often means there's a strength or absorption deficit elsewhere, like hip control or ankle motion. And lastly, if it feels annoyed after sitting for a long time or you get a weird catch when you stand up, this tells me there's a compressive sensitivity issue or low tolerance problem, not just tendon inflammation. Here are a few self-tests you can do, carefully and pain-wise, to get clues about what's happening. Test number 1, a bodyweight squat. Slowly squat to a comfortable depth. Where does the pain show up? At the bottom? Coming up? That tells us about compressive load versus breaking load. Test number 2, step down from a step. Stand on a low step and slowly step down. Notice if the pain spikes when lowering, that points to low timing issues. Test number 3, quadriceps activation test. Sit on a chair and contract your quad. Do you feel pain directly under the kneecap? If yes, That suggests tendon or soft tissue sensitivity. And lastly, test number 4, ankle dorsiflexion check. Kneel and reach your knee towards your toes. If your ankle doesn't allow that movement, your knee may be taking extra stress. Now, most people do one of two things when this pain comes up. They stretch their quads a bunch, or they rest and hope it goes away. And sometimes it does feel better temporarily, but it keeps coming back. That's because the issue isn't just tight quads or inflammation. It's often a load distribution and movement pattern problem. And here are a few common patterns that I see. Number 1, quad dominance. People who rely on their quads instead of their glutes and hamstrings end up putting extra stress on the tendon and structures under the kneecap. Number 2, which ties up a bit with number 1, weak or underused glutes. If the glutes aren't contributing well when you bend and straighten the knee has to pick up the slack. Number 3, limited ankle mobility. If your ankle can't move forward well, the knee ends up moving too far forward or sideways, and that increases stress below the kneecap. And lastly, number 4, high impact load without eccentric control. Quick, explosive movement without strong eccentric control, which is the ability to slow down under load, puts repeated stress on the tendon. All right, let's talk about what actually helps this get better long-term, not short-term relief, not more stretching, strategic load and pattern work. Number 1, strengthen through shared load. You want your entire posterior chain and quads to work together, not just your quads firing on their own. Number 2, eccentric control drills. Going down is often where pain spikes, so we have to get better at controlling that. Slow and controlled builds tendon tolerance in a safe way. Number 3, improve knee tracking. If your knee tracks a little inward, outward, or just awkwardly in the groove, the structures under the kneecap get compressed unevenly. Small tracking changes make big differences in load. Number 4, ankle and hip mobility. Don't skip this. If your ankle can't bend or your hips are stiff, your knee ends up doing movements it wasn't meant to. And lastly, which is, in my opinion, the phase or the block where people get back to pain, gradual return to impact. Jumping straight into high impact is often what got this started. So you have to train tolerance, not just strength. Most of this pain can be managed conservatively, but if you have swelling or warmth around the knee, pain that won't improve after a few weeks, major weakness or giving away, numbness or tingling, pain at rest or at night, then it's a good idea to get it checked, especially if it's impacting your daily life. So to recap, pain below the kneecap isn't always a tendon problem. It's often a load distribution and movement pattern problem. And the good news, once you identify how you're moving and start retraining those patterns and not just stretching, you can make real progress. If this video helped you understand your pain better, hit like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment where you feel exactly the pain. And I will help you break it down. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.